So last time I looked at the GH5S, just a brief hands-on preview. This time I've got the final release GH5S for a full hands-on review, and they've all come to look at it as well. Oh, we're looking at something else. But anyway, it's a perfect handheld camera that shoots 4K, which is why I put this massive wang over lens on it. Let's go. So this is the pumped up GH5. This is made for pro video peeps, which is why they've got red buttons on it, yeah? Well, one red button, sorry. Menus are familiar as per usual. Tim was saying it feels a bit lighter, and that's probably because it doesn't have in-body image stabilization. Before I did say, why did they take that out? Yes, I get it. I mean, there is a purpose of not having IBIS. If you're mounting it to a drone, it'd probably help. Yes, the GH5S doesn't have IBIS, not to be confused with IBS, which makes sense for serious productions. With an IBIS camera, turning IBIS off doesn't stop the sensor from moving around. With the GH5S, use a lens with IS or a gimbal.
I'm following you on YouTube.
Yeah?
Great. You're mad, mate.
Thank you. You do a bit of vaping.
Yeah.
Can I get a bit of slow motion?
Sure.
Let's get some 240. Oh, you don't need to do it yet. It's let's not damage your lungs yet. I know it's supposed to be healthy. Let's get some nice bokeh.
Let me know. Yeah, go for it.
Go. The 240 FPS slow motion from the GH5 is surprisingly good, although you get a bit of noise if you don't expose to the right. Get a decent exposure and you can get some really nice slow motion shots. Okay, great, thank you.
Oh, wow.
That's how slow the slow motion is.
Oh,
yeah.
That's cool. Looking cool.
All right, there we are. 240 FPS. Let's do 4K. Yes, the big thing is, I think they call it multi-aspect shooting, which is basically a way of saying it's now got DCI 4K. 4K 50p, 150M, it's 8-bit. 420. DCI 4K is not only good for cinema projection, but also gives you a little bit more pixels to play with. The 4K 50p 8-bit 420 footage from the GH5S looks pretty clean, no moire or artifacts whatsoever. GH5S does internal 10-bit 422 and 25p. If you want to get 10-bit 422 50p though, you do need an external recorder. I mean, the big problem with Panasonic is, how are they going to sell the EVA with this about? Of course, the EVA one is Super 35, but with GH5S you can put a speed boost on it. That's effectively 1.3 times crop. We'll put it on the screen if I'm wrong. A speed boost is like one of those must-haves for a camera like the GH5S because it gives it more potential. You can get an extra stop of light and decrease the crop factor, giving the GH5S a smaller crop than a Super 35 camera, defying its sensor size and making it a formidable low-light camera. And one of the benefits of Micro Four Thirds, one of the reasons why I got it as well, is because with the smaller sensor, I mean, people are always talking about bigger sensors, but there is a benefit to having a smaller sensor. You can use a fast lens at f1.4 or 0.95, and the depth of field isn't so shallow that only the tip of somebody's nose is in focus. What are people saying, like it's basically like a global shutter? I really don't believe that. Look at that.
Yeah, once you put a long lens on it, you're just gonna see it.
For sure. We've got them side by side. Same lens, different camera. And set this up. I shall refrain from making any comments about the difference in rolling shutter, but I will in voiceover. Wow, nobody's going to shoot like this, but the GH5 and GH5S are both pretty good in terms of rolling shutter. You're not going to see any unless you're using a tele lens. Oh look, the bully. Big un. Yeah, it looks like a seagull. I'm not a bird expert.
But
They all taste. Yeah, I was going to say they all taste the same. Yeah. High five.
High five. Oh yes.
It's the Chinese mindset. People have been talking about the dynamic range being improved. There's only one way to find out, right? Yes. Shadows, highlights, shadows, highlights. There we are. Let's get into the shadows. Well, in terms of dynamic range, you wouldn't see too much of a difference, but the difference is that with a GH5S, it produces a cleaner image, meaning you'll get more latitude than a GH5. Yes, so as I was saying, for serious professionals, straight-faced serious professionals, so that's why we've got an Atomos Ninja Inferno mounted on it, so you can get the best out of the GH5S. So yes, as mentioned, it's got DCI 4K. With the Ninja Inferno, I can do 4K, 50p, 60p, 422, 10-bit. Oh yes! Bird flu. I shot this in hybrid log gamma, which simplifies the HDR workflow. You won't get as much latitude as Vlog, but it still holds a lot of shadow and highlight details. So I'm shooting hybrid log gamma now, and having this Atomos would be great because I can actually see what I'm going to get. Actually, even with this mounted on the GH5S, it's not really that heavy. And that is one benefit. All that power, boom, tiny package. That's what she said, right, Tim? The image recorded on the Atomos looks amazing, plus it is encoded in ProRes, which should be quite easy to edit and post. I do like the 4K 50p footage from the GH5S. Sharp, clean and great skin tones. The Inferno has quite a bit of weight to it, so I put the GH5S into a Zacuto cage. They have a special monitor mount designed for the Inferno, which holds the Inferno in place perfectly. Smaller megapixel count, which results in better low light. But this has got dual native ISO a la Eva 1. The sensor has two analog circuits, one dedicated to ISO 800 and one to ISO 2500. Technically you should get similar noise levels on ISO 800 and 2500. In real life scenarios you'll see a bit more noise on 2500, but still, compared to the GH5 you'll see a clear difference. We can compare noise shots and all that rubbish, but in terms of actual usable footage, I would say ISO 3200 on GH5, with the GH5S at a push ISO 12800. So with the improvements with the GH5S, some things have been taken away also, but this makes it more of a camera for production people rather than vloggers like myself. It's not for me, but for other people, this is possibly the best camera of the year, even though the year's just started.